Hello, student. I, Dr. Shafani Jain, Assistant Professor, Tirthankar Mavi University. Student, in the previous video, we also discussed about the meaning of total cost, average cost, and marginal cost. Marginal cost. In this video, we discuss about the relationship of the total cost, average cost, and marginal cost. But before it, briefly I also discussed briefly the meaning of the total cost, average cost, and marginal cost. So, total cost. I have also discussed about total cost is the total expenditure incurred by the producer to produce his good to produce his goods. Total cost is also the summations of the total fixed cost and total variable cost. So, in the simple terms, is all the cost incurred in producing something or engaging in any activity. In economics, total cost made up of variable cost plus fixed cost. Variable cost, which is simply indicate VC, are costs that changed based on how many goods you buy or how much of the service you use. So, in this, total cost is evaluated as follows. Total cost is equal to cost per unit multiply quantity produced. And you can also find out the total cost from this formula. Total cost is equal to total fixed cost plus total variable cost. So, in the short, we can say total cost is the cost which is incurred by the producer to produce a particular quantity of the commodity. So we can say that I think you have to understood total cost refers to the overall cost of production, which includes both fixed and variable combination of the cost. In economics, the total cost is described as the cost that is required to produce a product. Total cost is composed of the two components, which are as I also written here, total cost is equal to total fixed cost and total variable cost. And two components which are fixed cost and variable cost. What is fixed cost? I have also described it about it, fixed cost in the previous video, but briefly I also introduce it. Fixed cost is the cost that is constant that is remains same. In other word, there are the costs that remain the same, irrespective of the number of units that are being produced. For example, uh, interest, which is taken to start up any business. If any producer take a loan to start up the business, and he have to pay the interest and lease for a building or rent for an apartment and insurance, all just like a variable cost. Variable cost and its other second components is variable cost. Variable cost is the cost that changes, yani that increases or decreases based on the number of goods produced by a company or the service requirement of the customers. So, when I have also discussed about it, the demand slow. When the demand is increased, the producer also increased to increase the supply, to increase the output. So, increase the variable cost, the producer can increase the supply. And when the demand of the particular goods down, yeah, falls, so the supplier decrease the output because he has to face the loss. So uh, a company a company, according the requirement of the customer, a company increase and decrease their output. So total cost is as important indicator of the financial performance financial performance of a company. This can show if a company is spending too much money on certain processes and if there is a need to cut down the cost. So I have also represent the formula. Total cost is equal to total fixed cost plus total variable cost. And it is also represent in a more advanced way as total cost is equal to average fixed cost plus average variable cost and multiply number of units. So in this way, this was all about the total cost formula, which is so total cost is a very important concept for determining the level of production. I think, student, you have to understood what is the total cost. Now we discuss about the average cost. Average cost. And average cost is also called per unit cost. Per unit cost because an average cost is the expenditure incurred by the producer for producing each unit of the production. So it is also called per unit cost of the production. And average cost is the per unit expenditure of the producer. Average cost is also summation of the average fixed cost and average variable cost. And average cost is evaluated as follows. Average cost is equal to total cost divided by quantity produced. So, in the simple words, you can say average cost equal the per unit cost of production, which is calculated by dividing the total cost by the total output. Total cost means the sum of the cost, including fixed and variable cost. Therefore, average cost is often called the total cost per unit or the average cost total cost. So, in the simple words, we can say the average cost is the average price of goods and services. When we have multiply products to sell or buy at, of at most the same value, the average of these values will give the average cost price. It helps shopkeepers in buying and selling process. So average cost is the ratio of the total of the cost of all the products to the total number of products. Uh, in maths, we also have the term called average, the average of any given set of data is called the mean of data. But in case of business, when profit or loss, so in the math, we also have the terms called average. The average of any given set of data is called the mean of data. But in case of business, where profit and loss are the key function, the average is said to be the right terms. And here I also written the formulas. Average cost is equal to total cost of the units divided by number of units. So the average cost deals with the summations of arithmetic cost divided by number of the quantity or number of items given which is given in the formulas. So students, you can see here the formula average cost is equal to average fixed cost. You can also include average fixed cost plus average variable cost. Average cost is defined as follows. Average cost is the expenses incurred by the producer to produce one unit of the total production. Hope student, you well understood what is the total cost and what is the average cost. Now we discuss about the marginal cost. Marginal cost is the expenditure incurred by the producer to produce an additional, where we use the marginal word in the economics. You should know it's a extra or additional units. Okay, to an additional or an extra unit of the commodity. Marginal cost is the additional cost incurred for producing one extra unit after producing certain amount of units. So we can say that marginal cost is the extra unit of commodity produce which is incurred extra unit, yeah, or additional unit of commodity produced. So, in economics, marginal cost is the change in total production cost that comes from making or producing one additional unit. To calculate marginal cost, divide the change in production cost by the change in quantity. The purpose of analyzing marginal cost is to determine to what point an organization can achieve economies of scale to optimize production and overall operations. If the marginal cost of producing one additional units is lower than the per unit price, the producer has the potential to gain a profit. So, in simple words, we can say marginal cost is an important concept in the managerial accounting, as it can help an organization optimize its production through economies of scale. Company can maximize its profits by producing to where marginal cost equal marginal revenue and fixed costs are constant regardless product levels. So higher production leads to a lower fixed cost and cost per unit, as the total is the allocation allocated over more units. Variable cost change based on production levels. So producing more units will add more variables cost. Companies must be mindful of the fact that increasing production necessities staff cost due to changes in relevant ranges, additional machinery or storage, etc. So, marginal cost is calculated as the total expenses required to manufacture one additional goods. Therefore, it can be measured by changes to what expenses are incurred for any given additional unit. Um, you can find out marginal cost is equal to change in total expenses divided by change in quantity of the units produced. And you can also find out with this formula, marginal cost is equal to total cost minus total cost minus what additional cost. So the change in total expenses is the difference between the cost of manufacturing at one level and the cost of manufacturing at another level. So, students, you can see uh, you understood well that marginal cost is the cost as expense incurred for producing in the additional or an extra unit of the commodity. Now, in the brief, you also see the distinctions between total cost, average cost, and marginal cost. Meaning, total cost is the expenditure incurred to produce a bulk quantity of the commodity, which I have to understood, which is the total cost. Average cost is the expenditure incurred to produce one unit of the commodity, and it is also say one unit cost. So marginal cost is the expenditure incurred to produce an extra or additional unit of the commodity. Now definitions. Total cost is the cost which is incurred by the producer produce a particular quantity of the commodity. while टोटल यानी जो पूरा प्रोडक्शन जो है एक पर्टिकुलर क्वांटिटी ऑफ कमोडिटी प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए जितनी भी कॉस्ट लगती है उसको हम टोटल कॉस्ट कहेंगे और इसमें फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट और वेरिएबल कॉस्ट आल्सो इंक्लूड होती है. Average cost is the expense incurred by the producer to produce one unit of the total production. इसको हम पर यूनिट कॉस्ट भी कह सकते हैं. मार्जिनल कॉस्ट इज द एडिशनल कॉस्ट. मार्जिनल कॉस्ट इज द टू कॉस्ट expense incurred for the producing an additional or an extra unit of the commodity. Includes in the total costs, we include total fixed cost and total variable cost. I have also discussed this before. Average cost, it includes average fixed cost and average variable cost. And marginal cost is include only the cost for producing an extra unit. Calculation, it is calculated in two ways. TC is equal to TFC plus TVC. It is calculated in two ways. AC is equal to AFC plus ABC. And marginal cost also calculated with this formula, and you can also find out change in total expenses divided by change in quantity of units produced and uses. Help, it is a total cost and graph is its graphs always go upward because total cost when the producer increase the level of the production, total cost is also increase, and it graphs average cost graphs always U shape, and its graphs just like it. So, total cost is help in economics of the scale as a producer needs large amount of raw materials for large production. If the producer wants to increase here increase his production at a large numbers, so he have to use large number of raw materials and others equipments and other necessities. So average cost had to cut down excess expenditure as per unit cost is calculated and also help in optimum. And marginal cost is decision making helps to determine cost for each commodity. Student, I think you completely understood what is the total cost, what is the average cost, and what is the marginal cost. Now we discuss about the relation between average, marginal, and total cost. Basically, we are focusing on two relationships. Relation between average cost and marginal cost, and relation between total cost and marginal cost. First of all, we discuss about uh, the relation between average cost and marginal cost. Relation between average cost and marginal cost is explained in this table and diagram. Here you see when the output is 0, total cost 10. Why is it is 10? Because fixed cost. Here, variable cost is not including, but fixed cost is also including. So total cost is 10, average cost infinity, and margin cost nothing. Now, when the production of the output units starts and it become 1, now the total cost become 20, and average cost 20 divided by 1, okay, total cost divided by output, and it becomes also 20, and marginal cost is the additional cost, so 20 minus 10 is 10. Okay, now when the production units become 3, you can see uh, 3. Now total cost is 28, because in the uh, uh, in the beginning the cost, uh, because due to the diminishing margin utility, the cost also decrease. First of all, it more, then more, less. Now production total cost is 28, and average cost 28 divided to 14, and marginal cost 28 minus 20 only 8. Now the production also increase. When the production increases, the cost is also decreases with the additional extra units production. So it become 34 and average cost 11.3 and marginal cost 6. 34 minus 20. Now when the production units become 4, total cost become 38 and average cost 9.5 and it become only 4. Now when the production also increase 5 and total cost 42 minus 38, it's also 4 and average cost 8.4. Now here the marginal cost not decrease, it becomes same and it is the maximum optimum point. After this cost also increases. Uh, Now when the production also increases, it becomes 6. Now total cost 48 minus 46. Now and average cost is become 8 and it becomes 6. It also because the producer also when the production also increasing is the large scale. The producer also uses new technologies and he also spend uh, extra cost on the other things. He also use and he also start to hire new equipments and new employees, so cost is also begin to increase. And then now you see in the diagram, when AC is falling, AC is falling, here you also see AC is falling, but MC is falling more than AC. MC, it is MC. MC is always to left to the AC. It is always left to the AC. Here you see MC is also become less than AC, only become 4. And this is the point where both are constant. AC is constant at the point E. MC AC is equal. It is this point. Yeah, yeah. And after this, both are increasing, but MC is increasing more than AC. You also see when AC is falling, MC is also falling, but MC is less for sorry, MC is AC. It's AC and it's MC, but MC is less than AC. It's falling more. So when AC is rising, it's also rising. So MC is more rising more than AC. When AC is constant, when AC at the point at E, MC is always to the left AC and cut AC from its lowest point. Student, hope you well understood the relation between average cost and marginal cost with the table and figure. Now, I hope you understood that. Now so in the simple words, you can say if the average cost falls due to an increase in the output, the marginal cost is less. Here you see the diagram. Marginal cost is less than the average cost. And if the average cost rises, it rises due to here it is rises due to increase in output. The marginal cost is more. It is more than the average cost. So marginal cost is equal to the average cost when the marginal cost uh, when the marginal cost is minimum. You can see in the figure and the diagram. MC curve cut at the AC curve at its minimum and optimum point, and it is called also minimum and optimum point. As the fixed cost does not change with the output, the average fixed cost decreases as the output increases. The average Variable cost does not always increase in the proportional to an increase in the output. So I think you hope you have to understood where when marginal cost fall, when average cost fall, and where they are intersect to each other. They are cut each other at the minimum point and optimum point. And it is explain in this figure and in this diagram we explain. You see that MC cuts curve falls at the output increase at the output increases in the beginning and starts rising after a certain level of output. This is because of the influence of the law of variable proportion, and I have also discussed about the law of variable proportion. Since the marginal production rises first, reaches a maximum and then decline. The marginal cost decline first, reaches its minimum and then rises. So I hope you have to understood. Now we discuss about when now we discuss about here when AC falls, MC is lower than AC. When average cost falls, marginal cost is less than AC. In table, you can see in table AC is fall till it becomes rate 8. You see here when it becomes rate 8. Um, and MC, sorry, rate 8, sorry. And MC remains less than rate 8 in the figure. AC is the falling till the point E, and MC continues to be lower than AC. In this case, marginal cost falls more rapidly than the average cost. That is why when marginal cost MC curve is falling, it is below average cost AC curve. It is shown in the figure. It is below average curve it is average curve, and it is while and it is below average curve. When AC rises, MC is greater than AC. When average cost start rising, marginal cost is greater than average cost. When both are rising, marginal cost is greater than AC. In table, when AC rises from 8 to 9, from 8 to 9, MC rises 8 to 16. It greater more than AC. And AC start rising from point E and beyond E, MC is higher than AC. Now, when AC does not change, MC is equal to AC. When average cost does not change, then MC is equal to AC. This is the point when MC is equal to AC. It happens when falling AC reaches its lowest point in the table 7 units. So, 7 7 units. You see here, AC is the lowest point. Um, Average cost does not change. It sticks to its minimum level of rate 8. Here, MC is also rate. Thus, figure show that MC curve intersecting AC curve at its minimum point E. Hope student, you have to understood the relation between marginal cost and average cost. Now we discuss about the relation between total cost and marginal cost. Table and figure often the following observation with regard to the relation between total cost and marginal cost. Marginal cost is estimated as difference between total cost of two successive units of the output. Thus, I have also discussed marginal cost in the previous video. So MC is equal to total cost minus total cost and additional one. When MC is diminishing, TC increases at diminishing rate. Here you see when MC is diminishing, TC is increases. Yeah, TC is increases at diminishing rate. When MC is rising, when MC is rising, TC increases at a increasing rate. Now TC is increases at a increasing rate. When MC reaches its lowest point, when MC reaches its lowest point here, it is the lowest point. TC stop increasing. Now TC stop increasing at a decreasing rate at point Q. After this point, TC increases at the increasing rate. I uh, Here you see up to point Q. TC is up to point Q. After the point Q, TC increases. It also increases at a decreasing rate because AMS is decreasing. It's a decreasing. Beyond point Q, after point Q, TC increases. It's also increases at increasing rate because AMC also started increase. And at point Q, TC stop. TC stop. यहाँ पे here TC stop increasing at decreasing rate because MC touches its lowest point. When MC touches its lowest point, TC uh, TC increase stop. So the marginal revenue of a firm is defined as the increasing in the total revenue for a unit increase in the firm's output, while total cost refers to the total cost of production. It is incurred by a firm in the short run to carry out the production of goods and services. It is the aggregate of expenditure incurred on fixed factor as well as variable factors. Total cost can be derived by sum up summation up marginal cost at all the level of output. And you see in the diagram, marginal cost is the additional to the total cost. When one more unit of wood is produced, MC is calculated as MC. MC is equal to total cost minus total cost minus additional one additional cost. When TC rises at its decreasing rate, as TC total cost rises at a diminishing rate, MC decline. Here MC decline also decline. When the rate of increasing TC stop, when TC stop, MC is at minimum point. When the rate of increase in total cost start rising, MC is also increasing. So hope you well understood the relationship of the total cost and marginal cost. In this video, we come to know the meaning of total cost, average cost, marginal cost. We also make the understood the relationship between average cost and marginal cost and the relation between total cost and marginal cost. Student, hope you understood well all. So thank you very much.